Finding a job can be a job in and of itself, and if you're a student that's just graduating this year, it can be even harder to make some money. That's why on this edition of Startups with Sanaz, we're speaking with two local high school students who have created a free app that expands job opportunities for students. Joining us now are Carlmont High School seniors Evan Ajuria and Aiden Appleby, the creators of the Grindstone app. Guys, thanks so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Talk to us a little bit about what inspired you guys to create Grindstone. I know in high school, jobs aren't necessarily in the foreground of thought. What brought you guys to this point?
Yeah, so we're both high schoolers, and throughout high school, we both took a different approach to working. I did freelance photography, and Aiden did freelance development. And through that, we were, that was our alternative to working at a normal retail or restaurant job. And through that, we realized that there were a lot of other students who wanted to experiment with different things they were passionate about and do gigs here and there, as opposed to just going and working at Starbucks. So, after all of our friends coming and talking to us about this, we decided we would just open this app to all of the students and allow high schoolers to be able to go and connect with the people in their community.
So talk to me about what that conversation was like. You guys are obviously friends. Was it, just one day after school, one of you went to the other one's house and you're like, hey, let's do this? Or was it a little more complex than that?
Yeah, so I started this as an Instagram page, just connecting people with jobs, and I wanted to go to that next step and build an inclusive app, but I can't write code. So I started reaching out to everybody I knew. I need somebody who can come on with me, and Aiden was, we had mutual friends, so we wound up meeting up at a Starbucks and went from there, kicked things off from there, yeah.
I love it. Now, how is your app different than like job boards such as Indeed or Craigslist or even something like a TaskRabbit?
Well, none of them target high schoolers in specific. High schoolers really have been kind of left behind in this gig economy. And what we're trying to do is bring them into it and really connect them with unique opportunities that are super hyper targeted towards their passions. If you're into videography, go pursue that on our platform. If you're into development, go pursue that on our platform. We're there to connect you to those jobs.
And the good thing is that there is never a shortage of high school students. If there's high schools, there's students involved, so you're always going to have users. How many people has your app reached so far?
Yeah, so we just broke 1,000 users, and right now we're growing around 7% a week. So we've been seeing lots of really positive traction, and these next few months, especially throughout summer, are going to be really big for us.
And you guys released, I was reading one of the latest versions of the app not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago. What are some of the features that users of the app can expect?
Yeah, we were using that version to kind of jump into the next phase of our platform, really just growing the structure so we can start to implement a lot more really cool features, a lot more connection-driven features, the chat, building connections through the platform, through the friend system, and just a lot more interactive features. We're also on the company side of things going to dive into, how can we build a subscription service that's really beneficial towards our users and really start innovating on those things. So that was the biggest thing in V3, is just kind of taking that leap forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's been a while since I was in high school, but obviously you have to be of a certain age to be able to work. Does the app kind of assume that those that are using it are, are able to work legally, or is it something that, that you have to kind of go through in terms of layers of the app, or how does that work? Is it kind of like an honor system?
Yeah. So right now we have our two groups of users: the employers, who are anywhere from parents to individuals, business owners, and then we have the students, who are 14 to 18, high school age. And right now, our main goal is to connect students with people in their neighborhood. And right now, being that a lot of gig jobs are the ones that are on Grindstone, is that it's really just connection based, and we're just there to break that connection.
I love it. And the gig economy really is booming. So something like this is a really cool feature to have available to students, especially they say, you know, the job market is there. There are a lot of jobs, but obviously as a student, it's not so accessible. Again, it could come down to work permits or just, you know, being able to get to, you know, somewhere where you would be working. So having a resource like this is definitely helpful for students. Also, when you come out of school and you apply for a job, they're looking for experience in something and you're just like, where am I supposed to get this experience from? So it kind of fills that gap too, right?
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of jobs, you know, like there are so many opportunities in every city. I'm in San Carlos, Aiden's in Palo Alto, and there are opportunities everywhere. But right now, the problem is, you know, the adults are on one platform. They're on Facebook or Nextdoor, and all of the students, all the kids our age, are on Instagram or Snapchat, and there's no way of them connecting right now because there's no platform for them to do that.
That's right. There's that I guess a disconnect, a social media disconnect, if you will. Now, what are some of the jobs that, let's say, a student that downloads the app would be able to find? I'm sure it's a wide array of positions and opportunities, but just give us an idea of what I could find, for example, if I were to sign up on it.
Yeah, so right now we've seen a lot of really creative jobs. One of my favorites was there was a kid named Matthew who really loved filmmaking. And instead of going and, you know, throwing out his camera and going and getting a job at Starbucks, he went on Grindstone and he was able to connect with a local nonprofit, Bravemaker, who was doing a film festival and they needed a behind-the-scenes cameraman. So they were able to hire Matthew, and, you know, they've been working together for a year at this point, and he's made, you know, not only lots of money, but money that, you know, he made doing something that he was really passionate about. Which is, you know, exactly what we're looking for. And we've also seen a lot of real estate agents using our platform to get help with random tasks.
Yeah, we're also kind of on that cusp before summer. So we're seeing a lot of summer jobs being posted. We saw the local YMCA post a job looking for some summer counselors. And, you know, you can kind of start to see those seasonal jobs popping in. So we're just now starting to see some of those.
Now, this is obviously a very you know, it's very fitting in the time that we live in, but it's not every high school student that comes up with some idea like this. You guys have this isn't your first rodeo, I'm assuming, with coming up with really cool and innovative ideas. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just the culmination of a lot of work. You know, we've both made a lot of, you know, mistakes and stuff, but we've learned from those things, and we're putting all of those learnings towards this new platform and this new startup. And it's been an absolutely phenomenal learning experience for us. I've been loving it so far.
Yeah, it's been incredible.
They say making mistakes is actually how you learn. If you don't make mistakes, how are you supposed to learn? So that is, that's a little, you know, slogan that you can go by. What do you guys hope to ultimately achieve with Grindstone?
Sorry, what was that last question?
What do you hope to ultimately achieve with Grindstone?
Yeah, our goal is to be the go-to platform for any student to go and find a opportunity in line with what they're passionate about. So for me, I love photography, and, you know, I can theoretically go on Grindstone and find a bunch of photography jobs. And if I'm not doing anything over the weekend, I can go experiment with photography. Or if I'm into, you know, I want to try something else, I can go on Grindstone and find those kind of opportunities. And yeah, I mean, we want to be the, you know, the one-stop shop for student opportunities.
I think even further as well, you know, as you mentioned a little while ago, people expect high schoolers, your first job, that you have some sort of experience that just has come out of nowhere. You know, we see education going towards a much more experiential phase. How can we be there to facilitate that process? I think that's the question that we're trying to answer. Yeah.
Now, I remember when Facebook first came out eons ago, you had to be a college student. You had to verify you were a college student. This is for high school seniors. Say there is someone of high school age, but let's say they, for whatever reason, do not attend school. Do they still have access to the app? Do they have to kind of verify that they're a high school student, or is it basically for people within a certain age group?
Yeah, so right now it's within a certain age group. Our goal is to build some features that people can verify if they're a student with using their student email or ID. But right now it's based on age.
All right, and you guys are seniors, and from what I understand, you guys are graduating next week, so an early congratulations to you both. What are your next steps? Did you guys find a job on Grindstone?
Well, we're both taking gap years to really hyper-focus into Grindstone. And then past there, I've accepted Northeastern University. So hopefully going to dive into a 4-year computer science degree.
Yeah, and I'm going to Parsons in New York City for a business degree.
Ah, you guys are amazing. I always love speaking to students that are doing so much because I think back to when I was your age and definitely was doing nowhere near what you guys are doing. So you guys are incredible. It's called Grindstone app. It's a free app. Is it available both in the Apple Store and Google Play?
It is right now on the Apple Store, and we're launching it on the Google Play Store in the coming weeks. So be on the lookout for that.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to leave our viewers with? I mean, it is definitely a cool feature to have. As I said, you start a job and you read the description. It's like this much experience, and you're just like, I don't have any of that experience. So this creates that connection to develop that kind of experience. Wonderful resource. Is there anything you want to leave us with regard to Grindstone?
Yeah, I think, to the students watching, come on here, find jobs that are out of the ordinary and, really kickstart your future. And to the employers or community leaders this is a platform for you to connect with your community. And it's you're supporting students, you're supporting high schoolers, we're high schoolers, it's the entire company student run, and it's down in its roots, a place for you to connect.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, the phone is something that I think people of all ages have in their hand. As I've seen very, very young people with phones. So it's definitely a resource that most people can access. And I would love to see, the future of Grindstone and what's to come and what's to come for you both. You guys are obviously both very, very intelligent students. So again, congratulations on graduating soon. Congratulations on what's to come, and congratulations on an amazing, amazing app. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Take care.